And I'm back with more Phoenix Rite, Spirit of Justice. And I'm talking to Anonymous TBD, who's totally Dats, but whatever. We haven't seen Dats before, but he's being questioned about all his crap that he did at the Inner Sanctum. So, let's go. Should be one more thing for this part of the trial. So, while I was at the Inner Sanctum, press third statement.
Hold it!
What exactly was this accident you had? Good question. What was it again? Oh yeah, it was the wind. And not just any wind, but a sudden gale force wind made me lose control. The wind was strong enough to make you lose control? You got that right. Okay then, please add that to your testimony. May 9th newspaper.
Objection!
We have a saying in my country, Mr. Ihmus. From one lie sprouts another. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? It means someone was caught lying again in an attempt to conceal their first lie. In other words, this current testimony is just a blatant lie you're telling to cover up your tracks. Huh? What'd you just say? You claimed gale force winds caused you to lose control. But this newspaper has the weather report for the day of the murder. It says, the area around the Inner Sanctum will have empty or calm, clear skies today. Bull Cougar! Well, I do believe it does say that. From one lie sprouts another. That makes sense, but is it really a saying back home? I've never heard of it. Yeah, kind of made that one up. For real? Your Majesty, the witness's testimony contains another flaw. One even more fatal to this case. More fatal, you say? The defense will explain himself at once. Mr. Ihmus claims he was flying up around the Inner Sanctum with a paraglider, but it would have been impossible to get all the way up there without any wind. Why, yes, you're right. But we know the witness was at the Inner Sanctum, so... Mr. Ihmus, how did you get there? And from where? Without any wind, he couldn't have flown up there from the bottom of the mountain. By process of elimination, the only starting point that makes any sense is... Your Majesty, I believe I have an answer to your question. To reach the Inner Sanctum, Mr. Ihmus must have launched himself from here.
Take that!
Are you insane? That's where he came from. If he couldn't have come from below, the only other option is above. So you see, Anonymous came from the Royal Penitentiary number 4. From there, he could have easily reached the Inner Sanctum by parachute. And that means he might have also killed the High Priest. What? Mr. Ihmus, were you the third party at the Inner Sanctum? And the one behind the warning to halt the Rite the victim received? Was it you who we saw in the final memory? Are you the rebel hunter, Lady Kira? Hoo-ha! I wish he'd stop that. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, sir, help me out here. Uh-oh. You did it! You finally left him speechless. Oh, come on, Mr. Prosecutor, man. Quiet, you fool. You should use this time to prepare yourself for what's to come. Ugh. For a fate far worse than hangnail hell that awaits you. Ugh. Well done, defense. I must concede the point to you. The witness did, in fact, descend from the inner sanctum, or to the inner sanctum from Royal Penitentiary number 4. He didn't even put up a fight this time. That's awfully generous. But if you're as perceptive as you seem, then surely you figured out the riddle. The riddle of Anonymous's true identity. Oh, his true identity? Not sure I quite know yet, but I guess I'll have to answer with something. It would seem I am the only one still in the dark. Would the defense care to enlighten me? Who is this man we've been calling Anonymous? Witness's true identity is Dad's. They're gonna want her poster and everything. Is this really him? Only now do you realize the truth. Well, please do share with your belated insight. What's wrong, Nick? Why are you holding back? Because this isn't going to be very helpful to our case. Really? Are you sure? Unfortunately, I've got no other choice. That scruffy beard and shaggy mane completely threw me off. But it's all becoming clear now. The nighttime base jump from the top of the mountain prison. The precision landing at the inner sanctum using a homemade parachute. Only a paratrooper, or more precisely a former paratrooper, could have pulled that one off. The witness is Dots Arbol, the prison escapee and member of Dirk's rebel group. What? Hoo-gah! Well, he didn't say hoo-ha. I was expecting him to do that. Gah! The witness is an escaped prisoner. Precisely. The police have been scouring every corner of the city to no avail. Meanwhile, here he was under our nose the entire time. Hoo-ha! See? I didn't think anybody would see through my clever disguise. But the witness's charade is not all that's been shattered. Is it, defense? Boy, do I hate this guy. Please recall the defense's own words. He claimed that the real killer was the rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira. Yeah, and what's your point? What of the witness's true identity? Wow, we're really doing a flashback to 20 seconds ago? Well, more like 45 seconds. Oh no! He is a rebel, and an escaped prisoner. He could not possibly have been Lady Kira, mortal enemy of the rebels. No! Now, perhaps the witness will enlighten us to the truth. After all, he has yet to refute any of this. You got me! I'm the razor-sharp fang of the Defiant Dragons! That's our ball! Does everybody pose like he does? Or is this just his thing? When did you get your memory back? Remember the guys not the time you were talking about being there no wind? There being no wind? You gotta give me credit for making up all that testimony off the top of my head. Are you prepared to tell us the truth now? Well, it's true I parachuted down from the inner sanctum, but I banged my head on impact and ended up unconscious outside the ritual curtain. In short, all my eyewitness testimony is a big fat lie! A lie? Oh, and by the way, long time no see, Yudi. Wait, they know each other? Your Majesty. This filthy rebel belongs in a jail cell. Yes, of course. Bailiff, seize him at once. Seems you really have forgotten the will of the dragon, huh, Yudi? But I haven't, and no dogs of the Garan regime are gonna lay a finger on me! Alley-oop! Deploy all available resources. I want all units placed on high alert. Okay. Well, now what? The escaped prisoner escaped again. The police force has been placed on high alert. He will be caught before long. Escaped prisoner who escaped the law again after giving false testimony? Talk about a troublemaker. When he pulled a number on all of us. What was the point of all that anyway? Well, I can't help but feel this entire episode was an entire waste of time. Gee, that could have been the mark for all of it. Anyway, Your Majesty. Perhaps it was not as great a waste as you might believe. What makes you say that, prosecutor? Dot Arbol dropped something as he made his escape from these halls. This scrap of paper looks awfully familiar. These appear to be direct orders from Dirk. From Dirk, the rebel hunter? But we only have a small corner of it. Wait, I remember now. Your Majesty, I've seen this scrap of paper before. You have? Scrap of paper that he dropped as part of this.
Take that!
And this is? I found it at the scene of the crime. It appears to be a copy of the order that Mr. Arbol dropped. Or Airball. I'm gonna say Airball. Yeah, let's go with Airball. Because hair, air, yeah, Airball. Because hairball. I get it now. If we put two and two together, we should be able to read what the order says. Oh my! Just what does it say, Mr. Rite? I can't read Chinese. Prosecutor Sadmati, if you please. The ignorant lawyer has not bothered to learn our language. Very well then. I do not understand. Well, what does it say? Using the lamplights as a landmark, he was to parachute down to the inner sanctum. Upon the rite's completion, he was to don Lady Kira's robes and make his escape. What? That is how he was to escape the prison. So if I were to assume that Airball was the one who killed the High Priest, then maybe it was because Abbot Inmee tried to thwart the escape plan? Oh, foul lawyer. I'm afraid that is simply ludicrous. I didn't say anything. Did you just read my mind? I know how your putrid mind works. Unfortunately for you, however, now that the rebels' escape plan has been revealed, it is clear that Dat's Airball is not the High Priest's killer. How can you be so sure? If only you'd use that putrid brain of yours every once in a while. Dat's Airball's plan could not have worked without the help of a certain individual. What do you mean? I am speaking of Abbot Inmee, of course. Dot's airball simply donned Lady Kira's robes and made his escape alone. He would have been far too conspicuous. But were he at the High Priest's side, the faithful citizens praying in the plaza would have no cause to suspect anything. It is therefore unthinkable that Dot's airball was the High Priest's killer. Ah! Fuck! So you're saying the High Priest was a... Oh, I can't bear to say it. I'm afraid it is so. He numbered among the rebels who threatened our kingdom. How could this be? A High Priest, a rebel? There must be some kind of mistake. Let it go and move on. Accept the truth, it is the only way. And that goes double for you, Defense. Cease your futile battle now. And why should I? Because I will now put the final nail in the coffin of the accused. Now that we've eliminated Dot's airball from a list of suspects, there is only one person that still remains. The accused, Maya Fey.
Hold it!
Hold it right there! Aren't you forgetting something important? Something important? Please do explain, Defense. Can't end this trial without looking into the third party. I'm talking about the true identity of the Lady Kira we saw in the seance vision. If it wasn't Dot's airball, then who was it? That matter's already been resolved. It what, huh? What's he talking about? It is as I've maintained from the start. There was no third party in the same
Objection!
But there was another Lady Kira there besides Maya Fey. We all saw her. Ah! What the? I can't move my. I can't do my finger point. Ow! Ow, my arm! It's time to let go and move on. Your fate has already been sealed, much like your arm. Hardly seems fair. It's quite simple once you consider where the victim and the accused were at the time. If the victim was near the spring with his back to the accused, what would he see ahead? Besides the water itself, there's nothing but the Warbot statue. Precisely. Lady Kira we saw in the seance vision and the Warbot statue, draped in her sacred robes. No way! The accused wanted the false Lady Kira to appear in the seance vision. Before she came from behind and stabbed the victim with a dagger in a reverse grip. But why would the accused want to do something like create a false Lady Kira? To show it to the victim as he was being slain. What reason would the accused have to fool the victim she was about to kill? It was not the victim she was trying to fool. It was this very court itself. Come again? Suspicion would not fall on the accused if it looked like another Lady Kira was there. And the defense was foolish enough to fall for it and claim it as a third party in disguise. Are you saying? I am. It was all a cleverly I almost did it again. Cleverly wicked scheme perpetrated by the accused. Enunciation! A scheme in which she sought to use the seance vision to mislead us. Oh. This can't be happening. What a face you're making, Defense. I am surprised you're taking this so hard. After all, Did I not clearly state a while back that you were chasing after naught but a deluded fantasy? You're telling me he knew this is how it was going to turn out all the way back when? He was just waiting for the most effective moment to spring it on me? Do you understand now? I have had you dancing in the palm of my hand this entire time. It can't be. This is an outrage. You took a royal priestess's sacred divination seance and used it to commit the most foul and despicable murder? No, I didn't do anything of the sort. Nick, it's not true. I didn't. Cease this ugly display. Your fate is sealed, now that the facts have been exposed. Your Majesty, the time has come to convict this criminal who only seeks to taint this sacred hall. Indeed, it seems this trial is over. Does the defense wish to offer up yet another counter-argument? The accused is not the... What do I do? Got nothing! It would appear the defense has run out of arguments to make. I thought for sure that the rebel was the killer. The only person with a possible motive, the one dressed as Lady Kira, had vanished. I got nothing to use against Prosecutor Sadmani's argument. Damn it. Can't lose now, not like this. Very well then, I shall render my verdict. Wait! Please wait! I'm begging you! It is time to let it go and move on. This trial need not draw out any longer. The defense has failed to counter the charge filed by the prosecution. In accordance with the law, I invoke the Defense Culpability Act against the defense. Now then, this court finds the accused Maya Fey, and the defense Phoenix Rite guilty. Ah! Your Majesty, forgive the interruption, but... Oh, it's the dude with the gun! What's the meaning of this? A body's been found in the Plaza of Devotion! What's this? A body? What happened now? And we found this sticking out of the victim. Why, that's Lady Kira's warbond dagger. Lady Kira, she's returned from the Twilight Realm. She's come to defeat the rebels. Peace! Well, it would seem the dagger that was once lost has now been found. I have one more thing to report. Yes? This dagger. It bears the fingerprints of Maya Fey on it. What? Maya's prints be on it. I cannot believe it, yet it must be true. Is something the matter, prosecutor? This trial has run its course and the accused's guilt has been firmly established. However, it would seem the defense was right about one thing. I was? You claim that the murder at the Inner Sanctum had been carried out by the rebel hunter masquerading as Lady Kira. I did say something to that effect, but what of it? Prosecutor Sadmati, are you suggesting what I think you are? I believe the true identity of the rebel hunter who's been masquerading as Lady Kira is none other than the accused Miss Maya Fey. What? Hey! What? I realize how shocking this must seem. Looking back, however, I now realize that much was pointed to this fact. The rebel hunting Lady Kira was first sighted about 2 years ago, and the accused first came to our kingdom 2 years ago as well. Why, the timing matches perfectly. But there is more. That warning letter was found in the High Priest's bedroom 3 days before the rite. Despite his house being locked up tight.
Objection!
How does that prove anything?
Objection!
It is difficult to believe an intruder could have found his way into such a secure house. However, the accused was known to come and go freely, mainly to prepare for the purification rite. Ugh. The accused could have easily left the house and unlocked for herself without anyone noticing. No! If we assume the accused was Lady Kira, that more than establishes her motive for killing the High Priest. The victim was secretly an insurgent bent on helping Dat's airball escape, after all. Precisely. And that made him a target of Lady Kira's wrath. And after killing the High Priest, she unleashed her divine justice on another rebel. So it seems the scope of this case is expanded. We now have 2 murders perpetrated by Maya Fey, masquerading as Lady Kira. If Miss Fey is indeed a serial killer, it would affect the severity of her punishment. In light of this, I believe the second murder must be investigated before we can proceed. As you wish, Your Majesty. Maya Fey, I hereby charge you with this second murder. May your defiled soul feel the weight of your sins. A new murder charge on top of a guilty verdict? It seems the defense will live to see one more day. Talk about hanging on by a thread. Come tomorrow, a far more terrible punishment awaits you. I hereby suspend these proceedings so that the second murder may be investigated. Until the conclusion of this new investigation, this court is adjourned. Oof. So that's how he got out of that mess. He's not out of the mess just yet. Fair enough. Well, I'm going to call it here, and we'll get to the investigation day 2 next time.